I'd like to talk about one of the first things I discuss with a client that hires me. One of the first things we incorporate into the entire plan. There's lots of tools in the toolbox to go over, and according to their goals and objectives. However, almost every piece of property has to have some sort of property line. I kind of call it a property line trail or access to your property. A lot of properties, old trails down the middle of them, cabins sitting right in the middle of the properties, whether it be a 40 or an 80. The one I'm currently working on is an 80. Cabin right in the middle of the property. The only trail is really through the property. When they're there, the deer, especially on an 80 or even smaller, mine's a 20 here, they're going to know you're there hunting. So here's a little trail I made on my little 20 acres. Now right here is the road. So this is just basically for my four-wheeler, for the kids a little bit. This is kind of the front of the property. I do live in the property as well. But I made this with a mini excavator. Didn't take me too long, a couple hours. There's many types of tools to use, but there's also ways to go about it. Sometimes, like on my property, I can't go down my entire west line. I can only use so much of it. So every property is different, but this is one of the first things I like to discuss with the clients when I go there. Still on my property along my east property line. This is the property line that does have private land on the next to it. It is really uneven. I mentioned using a mini excavator along the north line there, and after looking at this today, it's so uneven. There's a variety of ways. You gotta dig into the toolbox if you want to clean these trails up. Now that one's right over my trail. This is a foot trail that I made with a chainsaw by hand, just working, cutting. Deer do use it. They bed along it because of the mess that I made, and I kind of gave it back to them. I will use it once in a while. Depends on which way the wind is going, and that's a big part of this access, property access, because if you have 20, 40, 80 acres or more, I guess, you want to hunt the winds and you want to go out and hunt. So you got to have a lot of different options on how to get into the property. Now, if I kick deer up on this property line, they're either going to run into my property or run along into the neighbors, and I really don't care. As long as I'm not spooking them where my stands are, then I'm okay with it. So after looking at this, though, now in the winter, I probably could get a mini excavator in through here. It'd still be a lot of work. It's really hilly, and it holds some water in some spots. But another way, if you're getting a logger into your property, he could log up to the edge of the property. So a lot of loggers don't want to get too close because of legalities there. And another is a forestry mulcher. That's a skid steer with a forestry head on it. But again, that wouldn't work very good. I think you just got to look at all the options, what you're going to be using it for, what you're going to put a four-wheeler on it, a truck, or just a hunter foot trail. So many different options, and to make a decision of what's the best option to use. But I think whether you use it or not, I think it's a great idea to do it, whether it be a foot trail, 8-foot wide trail, 15-foot wide trail, whatever it may be. It's good to do that. You can put your no trespassing signs along it. You can put signs on it with your name and address and phone number. So if the neighbors are coming over and they're tracking a deer or something, they can call you, hey, I'm at your property line, so on and so forth. So it's a very good idea to define those property line edges. Hey, thanks for watching this first thing that I would do, or what I do, what we talk about when I meet a client or a client hires me. Keep along watching videos. The next video is going to be about some hunting situations on my 20 acres. And then we'll kind of get into the second and third and the fourth kind of things we do. A lot of these things will intermix steps how you go setting up your property. But hopefully it helps. And I got some really good things coming up on some foresters. Way to go about doing that. It's very, you want to do it right. You want to do it right the first time, and it's a big decision to make. So look for that next time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. God bless y'all.